Stay in the left 3 lanes.
Shut the fuck up!
Oh, perhaps in one of the shittiest looking parks I've ever seen in Long Island, right up the Long Island Expressway and Patrick Holbrook Road. There's some buckets of something over there. Probably another victim at the Gilgo Beach. I don't know, somebody was eating or getting a hand job. Whatever the fuck. We got the Montecristo Pilotico. Very nice banding. This is dedicated to the Pepe Mendez. Came out about 9 years ago. Pepe Mendez was one of the first people working after the Cuban Revolution and bringing Cuban seeds to Dominican Republic and starting to redo what they were doing in Cuba. So I'm sure when he came to be an exile or be a free man leaving the communist Cuba, I'm sure he decided then to make absolute shit cigars, right? I'm sure he forgot what they did in Cuba, right? For over 100 years. They forgot? I don't think they forgot. Well, anyways, though, this is using the Dominican Pilotico seed, which this was the second cigar to use that. The first one was remember years ago they had the Montecristo 80th by Altatus, which was made in conjunction with the Montecristo 80th Cuban. Back then, Altatus, which owns many brands, it's obviously a major corporation. They owned, back then, I think, 50% share of Habanos out of Cuba. Now, I think that's changed. I'm pretty sure they released their stake. Well, years ago. So anyways, it's pretty interesting. Back in the day, there was a connection between the 80th of both Montes. The Montes were connected in some way as far as the blending style. And I remember both. I had both the 80th Monte Cuban and 80th Monte out of Altatus, and they both were superb cigars. This is information that nobody cares as I sit in the shittiest place in Long Island. At least it's a sunny day for late September. Full pack, heavy pack. This cigar, you could tell it's a little darker here in the back. Why? Well, you see that? You see the split? It's not a barber pole, but see the front of it, it's been under, this was at one of those Indian joints. I hate to say it, a lot of the cigar shops owned by Indians, they have like regular fluorescent, I mean like from India, they use like regular fluorescent lighting, and in their humidors, that's the tops of the cigars, whatever side's facing up, will start looking lighter. The fluorescent lighting literally breaks living things down. So what does that mean when you are a living creature, right? Until you're dead, or your body's dead, but you're still alive. My point is this, because if your body's still there, but you died, where'd you go? Does that make any sense? Does that make any sense? Because you can't say, well, you stopped breathing, so you left, yeah? How were you breathing in your mother's womb underwater? How are you breathing under? If we need air to breathe, what the fuck were you doing when your mother's placenta? What were you doing when you came out of your father's nutsack, down a shaft, getting dumped into something? Not that I'm saying your mother was a dump, but you get what I'm saying, though. You're a spiritual creature that got injected into the physical world because your dad fucked your mother. I hate to say it, that comes down to it. It's like if there's a field over there and someone's like, you know what, we should grow apples over there. Did you ask the field? Probably not. But now, in the real world, you should ask. You should ask, and things should be over 21. If you're over 21. If you're 18, you're dating an 18-year-old girl, or if you're 17 and you're dating a 17-year-old girl, that's understandable. But if you're over 21, you should really be... How do I gotta explain this? Does that make any sense? If you're like 63 and you got like a... just turned 18 a day. I mean, it's legal, but... you're pushing it to the limit. Anyways, full pack. It's got that Pilotico in... That's not Dominican Piloto. Dominican Pilotico, they're calling it. Whatever the fuck. It's also got some Nicaraguan in the filler. And it's got Dominican binder, and it's got an Ecuadorian Sumatra wrapper, which would be more of this color. Okay? Like a medium dark looking wrapper. However, though, due to the... Now, these were made in 2016, 17. They were released. Very nice banding. These were expensive for the time when they came out. I don't remember how much, but they were expensive for their time. More than regular Montecristo. Now, the question is... How many years has this been in the cellophane? It's got some browning to it, but it's not a very oily looking wrapper. So I don't know if this was a one-time release. I don't know if it has 8 years of time on it, post been in the humidor there. So I don't fucking know. So I can't tell you. However, though, I don't think this was a major release, meaning released every year. Or not even, just constantly available. I don't think so. Because Montecristo does regular releases like the Montecristo White, Montecristo Classic, Montecristo Brown Band Period. Then you have the AJ by Montecristos. But then there are some limited releases, just a one-time deal. There's some more special cigars that are limited in sense, but they're still regular limited, like the Montecristo Epic series. That's done by Plasencia. There's the yellow band, there's the green one, there's the blue one, the Espadas, and those are available, but they're not as available as Montecristo White per se. So there's generally like everyday Montecristos, limited but available, maybe yearly or bi-yearly. And then you have one time, one and done. Go fuck yourself. I don't know why I said that, but if you're thinking of telling me to shut the fuck up, I'm going to tell you that. And now we can smoke a cigar. I was just thinking of Jeremy. I love Jeremy. But also go, fuck you, Jeremy. Fuck you. Well, good draw, but as soon as I put the cap was fine, biting the cap off. But anyways, wrapper started falling off here. As soon as I lit this up, this thing started exploding. Plop, 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 plop. This Sumatra is gone Matra. Nobody gives a fuck. I couldn't see any damage before I lit it. So this was a booby trap. This shit was fucking claymores in the grass. Not my fault. I did not drop this cigar. And there's nothing I could do about it. It's clearly there was either somebody dropped this before me and it was not visible. And there's nothing I could do about it, so fuck it. What's the strength level right now? Medium plus. What's the spice level? Well, it's got a nice amount of spice to it. Tingling black pepper spice. There goes my bag. I'll pick it up, but honestly, they could just made friends with that can and everything else. It's not going to matter. It's enjoyable. Cedar, nutty. It doesn't feel exotic to Pilotico. Pilotico or whatever the fuck, but it's enjoyable. I feel like the strength is ramping up. I think the flavor is very good on this. It's like good clarity. It's quite nutty, good amount of cedar. It's not blowing out my mind though, but also you gotta remember, this thing might have, 8-9 years on it? And not to say that 8-9 years would kill a cigar, like make it dead, but it could make a cigar more boring, if that makes any sense. And that's case by case basis. Also, I think this was kept in a rather wet place. I did leave it out of cellophane since yesterday, and the one band can move a little bit, but not immensely though. But definitely it shed some moisture from yesterday though. So it's been almost 20 hours. So I digress. Not a bad cigar at all. Quite classy. It feels like a very nice Montecristo. I would say it's like a little stronger than like the brown band Montecristo. It feels like a slightly stronger Montecristo brown band. I think it's enjoyable. I wish this is psychological or physical damage, but that's going to affect my chocha emotionally. I like the way the spice is hitting. It's like it's a sharp black pepper spice that's kind of coarse, but like picture. Oh wow, it's a busy place here. Yeah, salty as well. I'll tell you what. So if you like a snappy amount of black pepper, a good amount of salt, cedar, slightly earthy, nutty. Right off the bat, I think we're doing well. I have nothing bad to say at all. But I'm not like blowing out my chocha, but I'm not mad at all. But also, we got damage, and also, this could have, if this was a one-time release, let's just say they made it for a year, let's just say they went to 2000, it seemed like 16, 17, so it could have been the end of 16 it was released. Let's just say it was just low ball 2018, right? If that was the last year that was available, production-wise, you're still talking about 7, 8 years ago. So that's a long time. It's picking up in strength a little bit, a heavy medium plus. I gotta admit, I think it's a good daytime cigar. I think it's classy. I think if you like classy Montecristo, I got nothing bad to say about it. And I just wish, in my opinion, I could have smoked this original intent, or at least know how many years on it. I didn't check the box. I don't think Altadis would have the dates on the box, though. Sometimes AJ does, but that would be AJ made for Altadis. I digress. I'll come back. Well, fuck me. I've been talking for like 2 minutes, and I forgot to hit the red button, so I've been talking to myself. Anyways, you can see the real color of the cigar wrapper, the color with the phosphorescent lighting, and then the damage of the binder. But the cigar's smoking fine. The damage is not the cigar's fault. Whoever dropped it is a motherfucker and put it back. Being that it probably was in there for 8 years, since 2017. That's the only reviews I can find on it. Well, there you go. So if you had it, let me know. But buttery, oily, black pepper spice, but it's a really nice type of black pepper. I don't know how to explain it, but I like the texture of the black pepper on this. It's like slightly coarse, but like if it was a bunch of little coarse, like not exactly fine sandpaper, but not like super gritty with it's a rough grit. It's a nice texture to the black pepper spice. The tinkling spice can be like aggressive in how it hits you. So it's just a nice level of black pepper spice that it's like a semi-coarse sandpaper kind of vibe. If that makes any sense. It's slightly abrasive, but it's not going to break your chocha. And the rich rock salt is nice. Quite bready. It reminds me of those kind of cigars that you're like, wow, it's like a warm hot pretzel with crushed black pepper, buttery, oily, and salt on it. If you want that kind of vibe, then fuck it, this is your cigar. If you don't want that kind of vibe, then don't even waste your time on this. I'm fine that I tried it. I'm enjoying it. Would I buy it again? I probably would. But maybe in Pennsylvania. And I got to find out if they still make this. And I'd like to try a newer production of this, just so I can know the original intent. So I know where the original intent of the blenders, what they wanted as far as the strength and profile. Because as you give a cigar time, definitely over a year or 2 years, depending on the blend and the condition, things can start changing. After 3 or 4 years, things will definitely change. But the more a cigar has, the more it has afford to lose. So it's a very dark, very strong cigar. Maybe 2 years doesn't change it much. Whereas like some cigars, after 3 or 4 years, like what am I smoking? So also I think it's perception. Like some cigars, if you like them because they're very strong and edgy, but then if you give them only 2-3 years, maybe they're still strong and spicy, but maybe it's not as spicy as you wanted the original, so it's just not for you anymore. If that makes any sense. So, if you couldn't handle that cigar and it was too strong and spicy, then that time will be good for you. But if you understand what I'm saying, though, so I mean, is aging or is time good for a cigar resting? In some ways, you could say yes or no, but in other ways, it also depends on the person. You get what I'm trying to say. Now, if a cigar was not exactly well-aged tobacco and maybe it was slightly dirty, giving it time will let it break down a little bit. It's still going to be dirty, but what's going to... See, aging tobacco or the way they're fermented in the factory, it's different than it's different than resting in your humidor. All it's doing in your humidor is bringing the volume down, time. Actual fermenting tobacco, that's making the tobacco better. So if you have a shitty cigar, a shitty factory smoke, or any cigar you don't like, all you're doing with time is just making it lower volume. It's still going to be the same shit, just a little more watered down of the same shit. Whereas fermenting tobacco in the factory, that's the difference between, let's say, 2-year tobacco and like 10-year tobacco. Well, how can the same tobacco be good one bad? Well, one tobacco wasn't really ready yet. And then the other tobacco is in its prime. It's, the flavor's at its peak. So, yeah, so don't think aging your cigar at home is just magically going to make it better. It's simply more time is just going to make it a little less loud. Like the same song, like a lower volume. In fact, it might be worse. If there's a song you hate, imagine putting on just low enough. So it's just whispering. Like, you know what I'm saying, though? If you hate a song, but it's just whispering now in your car, it might piss you off more. Right? So, Aging cigar doesn't make it better. It just makes it lower volume. As far as cigar, remember, cigar is not tobacco. Aging tobacco before you put it together in the bales and everything, the way they ferment stuff, all that pressure and heat, that's what changes tobacco. Once the cigar's rolled, it's really not changing per se. It's just going to start breaking down and be getting a weaker version of what it is. Meaning, if a cigar is a fucking piece of shit, it's always going to be a piece of shit. It's just going to be a quieter piece of shit as it goes on. Jeremy fucking knows this. So in the end, I enjoyed the cigar. Bready, salty, rich rock salt, nice black pepper, cedar, slightly earthy, but not that much. Slightly leathery. Nice texture, nice flavor. I really feel like around 65% darkness. Now, it looks pretty hideous because of whatever the fuck happened to this cigar. I don't know who damaged this thing, and I don't know how I couldn't see the damage until I lighted it. It's just like as soon as I lit it, it had AIDS. As soon as it just blew up. I digress though. Enjoyable flavor. It's a quality cigar that still smoked through all the damage. That's good construction. I'm always honest, so I'll tell you if I drop a cigar. This was more than a drop. This thing fucking... I hope this thing wasn't shoved up, PG's ass or something like that. Never had to say about it. It's a nice flavor. It's a 4.65. It's not an amazing blend, solid blend. It's the kind of cigar I could smoke on a regular afternoon and have a great time. Chilling out with the guys, maybe having a pale ale or just a lager, just chilling out, bullshitting, relaxing. It doesn't take over the moment, but it's a nice moment though. It'll add to it, and hey, it's just a nice vibe. So damage, not the cigar's fault. Flavor, that is the cigar's fault. And the flavor's nice. If you want a bready, salted black pepper pretzel, that's oily and buttery texture, cedar, you're gonna like it. However, though, I don't know if they make this anymore, and I'm done talking about it. I can recommend the cigar. I think it's nice flavor if you want that profile. If you want something really strong or super spicy or super dark, no. If you fucking pay attention, I mean, what do I got to do here? What's a motherfucker got to do? You understand? You know, if a man's got to get on his knees to beg a woman to marry her, well, then a woman should get on her knees to beg him to divorce her. You know what I'm saying, though? Like taking her out to a nice restaurant, get on her knees. Oh, my God, she's going to do it. She went to Jared. Gets on her knees. She's got a fucking envelope. Honey, will you divorce me? Yeah, bitch. Yeah, bitch. Get the fuck out of here. In fact, that's what we're going to name this park. Welcome to Divorce Park. Empty Trojan wrappers, jerk-off tissues, cigarettes, tops of bottles, fucking sadness, fucking buckets of dead hookers and shit like that. At least the Corolla's clean. Anyways, though, I like the vibe of this cigar. It's solid. I don't know if anyone has these, but if they had a deal on the cigar page, I would buy a 5-pack. I wouldn't want it to be like my nighttime, like I want a real heavy, strong cigar, but I think this is great. If you're having a barbecue and you're chilling out there in the daytime, it's got enough power and flavor to have a good time. I'll see you around. I am pissed about the damage, but I'm not pissed at the cigar. I'm pissed about that. Well, I went to Smokestacks in Hicksville on the way here, Nassau County. And right next to the walk-in humidor, they have a big, huge shelf of about, I say 50 to 60 DVDs, and then also magazines of low-level, low-budget pornos. Not that I bought any, but I just want to see the production value, so I looked at the cases. The first one I saw was Nursing Homes Gone Wild, and just the pictures on the cover and the back cover alone, you don't want to see that shit. It's total degenerate. Totally degenerate. So if you go to Smokestacks, just understand that right next to the humidor, they're selling nursing home pornography, which is not my thing. But I have to just review everything I see, so I'm just telling you about it. Just telling you the truth. Watch out for that shit. They had cigars on the right and grandma getting anal fisted on the left. Fucking terrible shit, man. No, grandma shouldn't be doing that kind. Nobody should be doing that, but I mean, especially cookie makers. She's supposed to be making cookies and sweaters. You know what I'm saying, though? Not sucking off 4 Tyrones. Damn. Grandma got ran over by a train. The F train. I'm out of here. Jeremy knows this.